Hi and welcome. I thought I would do a halfway um review on this book. It's not gonna go in chronological order. I also might have to check my Goodreads because I remember everything, but I don't remember it in an order. Okay, I know. It's a children's book. I love it. Um I don't know. So far, it's a 4 out of 5. I'm more than halfway done, but I thought I'd start actually. I'll start try to, you know, uh, remember to write down what I love. One of the few first things I love is just the little intro of like, hi, I'm Percy Jackson, I'm 12 years old. Like, I love that part. I also loved the description of Electro of Mrs. Dodds and how when everything was done with, he had actually attacked his classmate. I don't remember her name. Does it matter? No. She's not in the story anymore. But I love that. And also the explanation or the description of Medusa. I don't know why, but there was just something about this book specifically, and also while reading the book, I was watching the show. So I'll reading one chapter, and then I look until it's, you know, oh, that's the next episode's name. I read until that, and then I watch the episode, so I remember all the details. Also, I love his dedication to blue food. I love his dedication to blue food, and his view and description of his mom is just so pure, you know? And obviously I know it's a grown-ass man that wrote this, but still, there's just something about Percy's view of his mom, like she's a goddess herself, right? Medusa one was sad in the TV show, and especially in the movie, but it was iconic when he used the back of an iPod, okay, to see Medusa, but I think the crystal ball one was way cooler. Because if you haven't read this will be spoiler filled, by the way, just having to say that. I love it, and I don't know, there's so much I miss, like his blue cherry coke, like his violently blue cherry coke or whatever they said, something like that. And I was like, perfect. Should have probably made the background blue, but I loved the movie when I was a kid. I watched them over and over again. And obviously this is still the first book. I'm not done with it. I started it when the show came out. Right. I was reading this, then me and my grandma watched it. The episode. My grandma liked it. She was like, I like this. But she likes a lot of things. But this one, I just feel like there are some things that I would say are maybe a little bit too complicated. Like some of the descriptions are a little bit too complicated. I think some of it could have been toned down a little bit. Let me just see what I've written. I don't remember. See all my activity? Okay, here I wrote pretty good so far. And then I wrote very good, they've just accounted Medusa, pretty cool. Also a pink poodle? Oh, that reminds me, not even just the pink poodle, but Grover flying around on the field with the shoes. That was pretty funny. Like, I was laughing. I was like, that is so funny. I don't know why. I just thought it was like a funny little, you know? And it wasn't in the show. And neither was the bus explosion. So, disappointed. But at the same time, I understand why they can't do everything. I'm at least glad that they've added some aspects that the movies didn't add at all. I already know some spoilers to the next book, The Guinea Pig. That is also because I did read the second book, or parts of the second book, when I was a kid, because I only had the second book. And my mom knew how much I loved Percy Jackson. So we went, I don't know, into this store, and you know, it was a sale or whatever. I don't remember if I bought it used, maybe? I think I bought it used. And it was the second book, but I was like, it's Percy Jackson. And my mom, you know, she knew how much I loved it. So we got it. And I was reading it to her. And I was just like so obsessed about like the guinea pig thing. I don't even remember who got turned into a guinea pig. I just remember it. And I was like, because in my brain, I'm very vivid when I'm imagining things, like reading things. I'm so vivid. I'm like I read something and I can see the whole thing. And of course, when I'm reading this, I'm obviously imagining Walker as Percy, because I'm so used to seeing him as Percy, and I'm like, oh, he's basically the perfect Percy Jackson. So I'm imagining him as Percy. There are some things like with the wolves, if I remember correctly. There's like the wolves when they fight, and that's why they know he's Poseidon's son. It's because the wolves like attacked him and just... yeah. And also the fact that Percy wasn't stressed about Grover being a satyr, but when Grover said he was 28 years old, that's when he was like, what do you mean? Also, the teenage minotaur, just the explanation here that he's like a football player, like a big bulky football player in Fruit of the Loom's bright white, you know, underwear. I just picture this really hunky ass dude and just looking stupid, okay? Basically, with like a bull's head. I imagine everything so vividly. That's also a thing. When I imagine stuff, I imagine it so vividly. It's crazy. Okay? It's almost embarrassing how much I think about the stuff that I'm reading, and I'm just like, wow. I've got to do another review on the Sookie Sack House book. I've only read the first one, but still, I should probably just make like a little part diary where I just sit here, record, and I just stop the recording and I start it when I've read something that I'm really like, oh my god. Because I did that for the second book, where I read the first chapter and I was reading it because I want Ben to listen to it. So I made like an audiobook-ish for him that I never published because there was something wrong with the video. I don't know what. But like my shock, I was like reading, and sometimes I read ahead of myself. That's what happened then. Anyways, this is about the Lightning Thief. I don't know, there's just so much that's missing from the show compared to the book. So that's why I really love the book. Especially with the whole like chimera thing. The chimera thingy. That was crazy. Sorry, that was really, really crazy. That one, I was reading it and I was like, oh my god, what happens next? Like, I couldn't stop. I just had to continue. That's basically the last thing I read is about the chimera. But I think it was so good. But I did miss the whole Medusa thing in the show. So this is basically just a review on how bad the show is, but also how good this show is. The show I give like a 4. No, the show I give like a 3 out of 5. The book I give a 4 out of 5. That's what I meant. That's not what I said. But I bought the whole pack. I bought it used. So now I have this. Love it. I have the 5 first books or something. I don't know. I own a lot of books, but I just can't stay reading just one book. So I pick up more books, and now I bought even more. I know. I bought 4 more, or I ordered 4 more. The last 4 books in the Sukisak House series. So yes, but thank you for coming to my very stumbled, very confusing review. I promise that I'm gonna do better. So from now on, I will note everything. I will put like some post-it notes or whatever in between the pages and just write a little bit about it and just be like Medusa or whatever, you know? Just simple draw words so I remember. But thank you so much for watching. And if you like my very confusing but like just yapping book review, you should follow for more. I will try to make one of these each month. I cannot promise. I'll try to make 2 each month. Never mind, I'll make 2 each month. And that will keep me going. So don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below what your favorite book is, because I'm very interested to hear what other people are reading. Yeah. Okay. Bye.